guys, thanks for joining me for another Assemble This card.
Today I'm going to be making kind of a masculine vintage birthday card using some more Unity stamps. The first stamp set I'm using is from Iron Orchard Designs made by Unity. It has some very cool kind of vintage collage-y type images. I'm going to be using this card and this big background stamp out of here. And then since it's a birthday card, I'm going to go ahead and use this happy birthday saying from a Bella Boulevard stamp set also made by Unity. This is super cute. I got a whole bunch of, I think I got all of the stamp sets from this line, so you'll be seeing that soon. Very cute. So the card base I'm using is Craft, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have lots of things gonna go on with this card. So the first thing I want to do is kind of build the background, and I want to do that with some masking. And I told you I was going to use the little card stamp from the Iron Orchard Designs set, and I stamped it out 3 times just on some scrap piece of copy paper that I have. I save that all the time and I use it as a protection for when you'll see it later. But I have scrap paper around all the time, so it's real thin, and I'm just gonna do some masking with that. So I'm gonna grab some removable adhesive here and just put a little bit on each of these to hold them in place. So that will hold those there. I'm also going to be using some, I'm kind of building how the shape of my card's going to look, just so I have a plan going here. I'm going to run some felt down the bottom here, and then I also have a label that I'm going to be making for right here. So the placement looks pretty good. I like that. So here's that big background stamp from the Iron Orchard Design set. I'm going to use some color box chalk ink in Chestnut Rum to just kind of ink that guy up. I'm not really concerned with how well it stamps because it's kind of a vintage look. So that looks pretty cool. We're going to put that there. And then next, I'm going to do some more masking. I want to keep this one a different color, so I'm going to pull I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig, and I'm going to pull this guy out. So this time I'm going to be using some more chalk ink, this time in dark brown. Okay, and now we need to do this guy over here. If you don't have removable adhesive, you need to get some. Especially for something like this, it just makes it so much easier. Okay. So now I'm done with the dark brown. I'm just going to bring in a little bit of a pop of red. So I got to clean my stamp off here. Cool. Okay, so that does it for the background part. What I wanted to do next is to stitch down this felt. And I'm going to stitch it down in a ruffle pattern and then run back over it with my sewing machine, just to keep the ruffles laid down. So I'll show you how I do that, or at least I'll show you how I put it down. I just grab some tape adhesive, and this will just hold it in place. The first thing I do is create a fold on the end. Okay, the first thing that I do is create a fold on the end here, and then I lay it down, and then I just keep folding and pushing down, and the tape will hold it enough, and then when I stitch over it with my sewing machine, that'll keep all the ruffles in place. And since I have a label going here, I'm just going to leave it flat to make it easier to put that label down. And then when I get to the end, I like to do one more fold under to keep it clean. Just like that. And now I'll take my sewing machine and just run, I think I'll run, I'm not sure. I'll either do a zigzag or just a straight stitch, probably down towards the bottom here, and I have just some black thread in my machine right now, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, I'm back. After I did my stitching, I don't know if you can see that along the bottom here, it's just a straight stitch. It just keeps these ruffles down. And this felt is kind of cool. It has an embossed pattern already, I don't know, placed into it. So it kind of adds just another texture to the card. It's kind of cool. I just found that at I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. Just in their felt section. Okay, so we're going to set this aside, and now we're going to work on, we're going to work on the label that I'm going to put on the front that says Happy Birthday. I've already pre-cut out this label shape from Spellbinders. It's Labels 14. I just cut it out of a buttery cream from Basil, their cardstock. And we're going to do some stamping and shading on this. I have some Ippity ink. It's called Haystack. And I have a finger dauber. This one's getting pretty roughed up, but I'm still going to use it. And I'm just going to do some shading on here. That yellow is pretty bright, so I just want to tone it down. And I'm leaving the Spellbinder shape on because it'll leave a nice little border. So I don't even have to mat this. It's just kind of cool. So that'll work. And then at the last minute, I decided to grab this stamp set, also by Iron Orchard Designs, made by Unity. It's called My Dear. I'm gonna use this stamp background. I feel like this is pretty stark, so it just needs some help. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and that gets lost. So I think I'm gonna stamp it in this real light. I may even cool. That'll work. So that just gives it just a little bit of something going on in the background. Let's pop it out and see what it looks like. So you can see the border that it creates from the stamping. I also embossed it so it'll pop from the center. Just gives it a little bit of an edge. I feel like I need to do something with that. That seems really seems really bright and harsh against the other soft colors, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges with this. And I'm tapping it onto this paper to take off just a little bit of that ink so it doesn't create a huge splotch. It just creates a nice little softness. I think I might even actually add another layer in here. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't really know if I want to stamp the happy birthday in red or if I want to stamp it in brown. So I'm bringing out my Stamp-A-Majig and I've stamped both colors so I can kind of see which I like better. And I think I want that red. That pop of red's gonna look pretty cool. So I made that pretty easy. So I'm just gonna put that down. Okay, so I just need to put this on the front with just a little bit of foam adhesive. And that goes on the front here. And the last thing I want to do is grab my corner chomper and round these tops up here. And that does it for today's card. Lots of masking, lots of layering of colors going on today. I hope you guys learned something or at least enjoyed watching. And I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye.